Hello, I'm Rick Hartzell. I'm the Service and Warranty Coordinator at Hartzell Air Movement. Please enjoy the following fan maintenance video. First thing we're going to do is confirm the hardware that everything's nice and tight. If it isn't, it'll have to be tightened up. We'll go and check the fan blade. Spin the fan blade, make sure it's not rubbing on the cone. That's the first thing we want to do, okay? If it happens to rub, you'll want to loosen the nuts on these studs and just loosen them, loosen all of them. You can just hit this inlet cone around until there's no rubbing. Once it's not rubbing at all, you'll just tighten all your bolts up. They just have to be nice and tight. Once everything's nice and tight, just confirm that the blade is not rubbing. If it's not rubbing, okay, everything's good on the inlet side. Okay, now I'm going to come back to the motor side of the fan, and I'm going to check the hardware, confirm everything's nice and tight. Okay. None of that hardware has to be torqued. All this just has to be, just make sure it's nice and tight. That's it. Okay, and then you got a seal plate, and you'll want to make sure, confirm that them bolts are nice and tight. Now we're going to go to the motor. Check the motor bolts first. Make sure they're nice and tight like they're supposed to be. They seem to be. 2 bolts at the top, 2 bolts at the bottom. Okay. All right, then we'll check the motor base. Okay, everything's nice and tight there. Now we're going to check the bushing bolts, and I'm going to confirm that they're torqued at 28 pounds. Okay, you also want to make sure that the set screws on the bearing collars are nice and tight. Just take your Allen wrench into your set screw. Just kind of, the Allen wrench can bend a little bit. Once it's bent, you know you got the proper torque. And that's mainly all the hardware, confirming that all the hardware is nice and tight.